Hello everybody, this is Kenneth Marks of The Ancestor Hunt. Today I'm going to be sharing with you two sites that represent about 100 newspapers that are free for you to search from the state of North Carolina. There are 25 or so from the North Carolina State Archives and about 75 from the Digital Heritage Center. So let's get started and show you how we navigate through these two sites. The first site from the Digital Heritage Center is about 75 newspapers, and the URL is digitalnc.org/collections/newspapers. The newspapers are indeed listed, and we scroll down to see those. There are community newspapers and student newspapers, and you can click over here on the right to view issues and the dates that are available to you. And as you can see, there are quite a few. As I said, there's about 75 total. And there's a little map here of North Carolina where you can actually pick off the ones that you want to look at. And let's do an advanced search. The way to do that is you type in a keyword, and I've already typed that in, the location and a date range, 1824 to 2012. This is the list of titles over here on the right. You can search individual ones if you like, or you can search all, which I will choose to do. I've already typed in Mendenhall, so let's do a search. And up comes all of the results. In this case, there are 462, and we've got a thumbnail, title of the newspaper, date of the newspaper, and who contributed it to the collection. So let's click on the thumbnail, and up comes the page that has the search term Mendenhall in it. And let's zoom in a little bit, make that so we can read it. As you can see over here on the left, there's this little box, and the light pink is what is displayed on your screen. The dark pink is where the search terms are. So let's just drag that little box over the highlights, and there you go. You can see there's the search terms Mendenhall highlighted. And so what we can do, let's make this a little smaller. If we wanted to save that article, we could use our snipping tool and drag a box around the article that we want to save. And there you go, you can save that. As you can see, the highlights are in pink, and I don't like to save my articles with the highlights, but if you don't mind doing that, you could certainly save it by just doing a file save as and then saving it on your computer. So there are different ways to actually look at the articles without the highlights, and the way we do that is we have the option with this little download box to download JPEGs in either small, medium, or large resolution, or we can we can save the entire article and that entire page in a PDF format. I'm going to choose the JPEG large, which will give me a high resolution. And obviously I would change the name of the file, but we'll just save it on my computer with that name for now. And it's doing its thing. Let's bring up the JPEG. And there you go. We'll maximize it so we can see it. And let's go over and look for where the article was. And we just move around. Here we go. Herd and a Runaway. There is the article right here. So what we'll do now is we'll snip it. And the article is nice and large, readable, very clear, and we can then save it on our computer. Again, we would change the name to probably represent the name of the newspaper, the date, and the subject. So we won't save that for now, but that shows you how it's done. It's really simple. Again, just to refresh, you can snip the article with the highlights, or you can go over here to download and save it as JPEGs, either small, medium, or large resolution, or PDF, whatever is your choice. You can browse over here on the right through the other pages in the newspaper to see, contextually wise, what is happening at that time when that particular event occurred. And that's it. That's all there is to it. One more thing I do want to show you. If you scroll down, we have what is called the object description, which is information that is useful to you for doing your source citation. The title of the newspaper, the date, location, it's a weekly newspaper, volume, issue number, etc. So that would be very useful to you for citing the source for this particular article. So you would want to either write that down or copy this information on your computer somewhere so that when you are actually citing the source for that article, you have it at your disposal. Do not have to go back and find it again. So let's scroll back. And frankly, that's really all there is to searching this particular site. Again, 75 newspapers, both community and student newspapers, a wide range of dates. This is a very handy and useful resource to find some of your North Carolina ancestors. Now, I had mentioned at the beginning there were 2 sites that are available to you. So let's go to the second one. The second one is brought to you by the North Carolina State Archives. And let's take a look at the newspapers that are included. This one is late 1700s and early 1800s. So this one is really nice if you've got ancestors back in that time frame. Again, these are the names of the newspapers and the county and cities, etc. So there's about 25 of those. So let's go to search. It doesn't take you directly to the advanced search. I have not been able to find how you can get directly to advanced search from this home page, but let's go ahead and let's type in our same keyword, Mendenhall, and hit go. And that brings us to our advanced search. So you could click advanced search if you wished, and I want to point out to you what is available here. You can find results with all of the words, any of the words, the exact phrase, none of the words. Here's where your search term goes. You can search in all fields or a great number of other choices such as title, subject, description, etc. It does have Boolean and Boolean or, and that would bring up another byte. Let me just show you how that works. You can add another field if you like, and that would be a Boolean and Mendenhall and say William or whatever. So let's remove that. You have the ability to search by date, from and to. We're not going to do that, so we'll get rid of that. And you have the ability to add or remove collections. In this particular case, it does not give the opportunity to select one of those 25 that I showed you. You have to search everything. But there are other collections available in the North Carolina Digital Collections set, and they are genealogy related, but not necessarily newspapers. For example, census data, Civil War, cultural heritage institutions, etc., family records, government papers. So if you're looking for other genealogy type documents, this would be an excellent choice for you. In this case, as you can see, it's checked North Carolina Digital Project, so we will use that one. And the search came up with 156 results. Let's take a look at the first one. And there we go. There is the entire page. And this one has the same type of software driving the ability to maneuver through the images. So as you can see, we can move this little blue box, make it a little larger, and we drag as we did the other one. I will tell you this site is a little bit slower than the other one, so we'll be patient. And there is the article. This one is about a wedding of Rhoda Mendenhall. And again, the same concept as I mentioned before. We can actually snip it with the highlights. Whoops. Try that again. And save it. Or if we don't want the highlights, we can go over here, download, and we'll do a large again. And I know I'm repeating myself, but because this has the same underlying software, but just to refresh how this one works. Carolina Watchman, you would change the title again, so we will, we'll put that on our desktop. Now it's ready. And there's the entire page. Again, we're going to be homing in on this particular section here once it's blown up. And there you go. So if I wanted to save that, again I would snip it, and save the information about the wedding of Rhoda Mendenhall. Doing a file save as, again changing the name of the file to something that is a little bit more meaningful. And my friends, that's all there is to this particular site as well. Again, same underlying software, different collection, 25 different newspapers available to you here. So, in summary, we've got 100 newspapers free to search from the late 1700s through today for the state of North Carolina. If you have ancestors in North Carolina, I would highly recommend that you use these two sites. There's an abundance of newspapers available. You probably have a pretty good chance of finding something that would add to you the family stories for those ancestors. Take a look at these sites. I think you'll enjoy it. Easy to use, reasonably fast, and I hope you are successful. Happy hunting.